Greetings everyone! What is better than W211? Only W211 Wagon. Subscribers of my channel know that I love W211 same way I love to think about my ex-girlfriend while I'm parked across your house in tears. If you're a family man, priorities of your life shifted to a completely different direction. No more time, money or even dream that you can have something for yourself. Only thing you can do to avoid complete depression is to buy W211 Wagon. In United States they sold only 200 AMG wagons and God knows how many non-AMGs. In my opinion, interesting engines for W211 wagons are E500 with reliable 5-liter V8. It develops 306 brake horsepower and 460 Nm of torque. E550, also it comes with a new facelift, so it has more features, more interesting and looks much more better. It has naturally aspirated 5.5-liter V8 that develops 388 brake horsepower and 530 Nm of torque. Then we have AMG, 5.5-liter V8 with compressor, and it develops 486 brake horsepower and 700 Nm of torque. With only cheap tuning, this engine can develop 540 brake horsepower and 800 Nm of torque with stock internals. And most unreliable and my favorite engine is 6.3-liter naturally aspirated V8. This engine I love more than any other engine from Mercedes. It develops 503 brake horsepower and 630 Nm of torque. It has famous problem with engine cover bolt, but in 2009 models they already solved that, so you will have no problems with this engine if it is properly maintained. Here is a racing engine and it needs good fuel, oil change every 5-6,000 km, a radiator cleaned every 50,000 km and change of cooling liquids every 50,000 km. Also change oil in the transmission and transmission cooling every 60-70,000 km. If you do that to all the V8s that I mentioned before, those cars will be indestructible. But there will be some problems that will annoy you. For example, self-leveling suspension can leak out of nowhere at any time. Also, air suspension will eventually break down, so be ready to change it. And don't replace air suspension for OEM parts. There are many companies that give 10 years warranties on the new W211 air suspension. Also, keep $5,000 in cash in your safe for a rainy day, because it is a car that is more than 20 years old and anything can happen. There are owners of W211 with self-leveling suspension and have no problems. Now let's talk about some advantages and disadvantages of owning your dream W211 wagon. No girl will look at you. You will get ton of attention from men and zero from female, and this is one of the best arguments to convince your wife of buying W211 wagon. AMG versions are more rare than any Ferrari and Lamborghini. As I said before, in total AMG sold 200 E55s in the US and 170 E63s wagons. Globally I have no numbers about that, but they are rare cars, so the price of them will go only up. Also, there are some W211 wagons that had 2 extra seats at the back, so it's a full 7-seater with the cup holders. So kids that you didn't want to have and happened by accident, you can put in the back and not look at them during long journeys. Transmission can handle 1000 Nm of torque if you improve cooling in it. I have no idea why you need this information, but anyway, it's nice to know that. When it came out, it was the fastest wagon in the world. It has more cabins and of course more space than in W211. Mercedes gave it even a special name for the new cabins. It's called Easy Pack System. This car is a little bit safer than the standard sedan, and I have no idea is that true or not, but Mercedes claims that it is. Almost every owner of Mercedes dealership at some point of their life had a wagon Mercedes. My mother few years ago bought a used C-Class wagon with air suspension, 7-speed transmission, AMG pack and panoramic roof, and the previous owner of this vehicle was the owner of Mercedes dealership. So this car is special even for Mercedes dealership owners. Disadvantages of W211 wagons are not catastrophic, but they are a little bit annoying. First one will be the sound isolation. The sound isolation in the W211 wagon is a little bit worse than in the sedan because of the extra room, and the interior has this little sound and echo effect when you drive the car. It's a little bit more loud than the standard sedan. You will feel that. Also, handling is a little bit softer and not as sharp as the sedan. And another disadvantage is that you will constantly be afraid to drive this car because of how special it is. And but this is, I think, just my opinion, and maybe I'm wrong. Maintenance of this vehicle will be expensive because it is a Mercedes and it's 20 years old. Also, it is 100 kilograms heavier than sedan, so you will feel the weight when you drive it. Best W211 wagons are of course in Japan, and you can buy them through the many different Japanese auctions. They are well kept, they have full service history, they are affordable. Prices for W211 V8 starts from $15,000 till $50,000 for very good E63 or E55 wagons with low mileage, perfect condition, no accidents, no paint. I recommend buying W211 wagon restyling versions. The design of restyling is a little bit more attractive and just better. But in general, design of W211 wagon is simply cool. Not always estate versions look cool. Despite lack of proportions from front and the back design, it is a very desirable car. Every time I see W211 wagon, I get sexually excited. I take my phone out, I take pictures, and it's nice to see this car. It makes you smile, it makes your soul feel warm. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about W211 wagons. Take care and bye bye.